Hello, everyone. It's me, Alison. The show is about to start, but just real fast, a quick reminder. I want to tell you guys, if you are doing some shopping, perhaps some Black Friday shopping, holiday shopping, etc.
Like Christmas type shopping?
Christmas type, any sort of shopping at all. I have put together some lists on Amazon.
Lists with things
stuff
on them?
Daniel, just pipe down for 1 second. Beauty stuff, makeup stuff, home stuff, kids stuff, podcast equipment, books I recommend, all of this stuff. And
Daniel's stuff?
Oh, yeah, Daniel's Corner, where I put stuff that I know that he likes. But Daniel has recently gotten way more involved, and he put together a special Christmas spectacular gift guide for you.
You guys will not even believe it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what's on there, but it's literally some things.
Lots of things. And a whole big caption explaining his process. If you know
someone who's exactly like me, they are going to love it.
And here's where you go to see all of this. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen.
And we'll be adding to it.
It's nonstop, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the show.
Bye.
You guys, I lied. I said the show was starting right now, but I have one more quick announcement. I'm co-hosting a new podcast. It's brand new. It's called Upworthy Weekly. I'm co-hosting it with a guy named Todd Perry, who I'm having so much fun with, although he is wrong about so many things, especially Christmas music, but also other stuff. But anyway, Upworthy Weekly, we come out on Saturdays. Please give it a listen, subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, leave us a comment, a review on Apple Podcasts. That helps out the show so much, especially because we are brand new. As I've said, between 1 and 4 times right now, I've lost track. But anyway, please give it a listen. It's a lighthearted news podcast. We're taking a look at the most popular and engaging stories from the week before that ran on Upworthy. And it's just what your holidays need. And then when we're past the holidays, it's just what that part of the year needs. It's just exactly what you need. Please listen to it. Upworthy Weekly, new episodes every Saturday, wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Alison welcomes a guest. She's a producer and writer who's here to promote her hot new restaurant, Just the Fixins. It's Robin Shorr. And he's a writer and comedian and Mr. July in the 2022 Panera Bread calendar. It's Jordan Morris. Tone Zone is here, and he's finished the robe where there never was a robe. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Alison Rosen.
Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison Rosen, Alison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little bread puddings. Welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. I'm excited to welcome my guests. But first, I must tell you,
what's going on?
This is how I do a Monday show. I felt the road forking, and I was like, I can get it on the right track. But then I had to just address the fact that the road went one way, and I went the other way, and that made all the difference. Is that where am I getting horny? What's happening? Oh, that's a needle scratch. I always think.
You always think it's a zipper.
I always think it's a zipper, but it's a needle scratch.
You'd have to hear a flop flop after the zipper.
Wait, what's the trope in the movies where it's like, you're probably wondering how I got. That's me, you guys. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well, I was trying to introduce the show. And anyway, you know what? I'm going to start over again, but we're going to leave that in because it's loose. And Daniel and I have been watching the Von Dutch documentary. Is anyone else watching this, even though I haven't introduced you guys yet?
So badly.
No,
Okay, well, one of the 400 people who claim that they invented Von Dutch said that he realized that if you can marry something classic, which is me, with something authentic. And what was the third thing, Daniel? It was like a
Douchey?
synonym. What?
Douchey.
And with flames. Then you've really got something.
Pinstripes.
No, I feel like it was like authenticity and then also honesty. I feel like I was like, those are synonyms. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to another exciting Thursday episode. Tony, how do I do this? Hello, my little bread puddings. Welcome to another exciting Thursday episode of the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. That particular carbohydrate, which Daniel is now going to be introducing into his Christmas rotation because were you not ready for me to out you?
We're not ready. We're not ready for this. You can't sprint without warming up, honey.
Well,
all right.
Just know that
talk about holiday desserts yet. Let's just get through the intros, for God's sake.
Fine. Just know, that's a tease for Daniel's nuclear dessert option. But bread pudding.
This is a very eventful week. That's all I'm going to say.
This is a very eventful opening of the show.
If you're pumpkin pie, if you're pecan pie,
get ready.
Get ready. Daniel's, you're about to get canceled for Daniel's. I'm sorry. I don't.
Jesus Christ.
What?
You just spoil everything.
Pumpkin pie's getting canceled?
Daniel's
canceling.
Did you find some of its old tweets?
Yes.
Back when it was kind of trying to be an edgelord.
Pumpkin pie is very traditional. That's what we like to say.
Anyway, that particular carbohydrate, bread pudding, was sent in on Patreon by Ulysses Atkins. Yes, I am on Patreon. Bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. Daniel and I just did one recently. I've got some exciting ones coming up. We've got a level where you can text me.
That was exciting.
What?
Well, that one was exciting too, though. Well,
we've got even more exciting ones coming up. I'm having trouble hearing you, Daniel, and it's slowing me down.
How's my audio, Tony?
Chaos.
I don't want you guys to be too loud. All right. Anyway, a more professional podcaster truly would start over. Like, enough has gone wrong.
No way.
Not me.
But, Alison, this is the authenticity that Jimmy Von Dutch was talking about when he invented his famous party hat.
Yeah, go, girl. Thank you.
So all we need is something classic. That's Tony.
Yeah, and something on fire. Who's going to self-immolate? Daniel.
I'll do it.
All right, thank you,
Robin. I've been meaning to try out for the Universal Studios Waterworld stunt show anyway.
Don't
hell yeah
tease me. That is my dream. We can talk about that later.
Oh my gosh,
so anyway,
are we in direct competition?
Ooh, there is a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. You can see video. You can watch how many times Daniel's rolled his eyes over what's already happened, and you can see that I'm wearing a new shirt and I'm trying out a new lipstick look, and that might be where we went wrong. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. If you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free. But listen,
that's a good deal.
Listen, here's something, and I was debating whether to mention this or not, but I'll mention it because I think this is what's throwing me off. So, I say hello and thank you to my new patrons later in the show. So I was on Patreon right before we started looking to put together my list of the new people, and I saw that a patron, a Friends with Benefits that I really like, deleted her plan. She's no longer a patron, and I thought, Yeah. So then I went and I looked at the exit interviews because it's supposed to be anonymous, but they have exit interviews where they can say why they're leaving. And they can put in their own comment if they want, or they can just choose like a pre-selected one, like, my finances changed or blah, blah, blah. But it's supposed to be anonymous, but you can tell based on the date, when it happened. And anyway, on that same date that this person who, like I said, is one of my favorites, even though I don't know her well, the comment is, my wife is a big fan of Alison Rosen, but she just went into hospice, so can no longer enjoy her podcast.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm not 100% sure this is her because I feel like it's not always linked up. But I don't know who it is. It's either someone I really like or someone, regardless of whether it's this person I'm
just
thinking
said
of.
you do know who it is.
I think I know who it is, but I didn't know this person was sick at all. Anyway, it is. If it's the person I'm thinking of, that's really sad. And if it's someone else, that's also really sad. So whoever it is, that's really sad. And I know a bunch of people are going to be listening and they're like, who is it? It's someone who I had communicated with her. She was not, she didn't like actively, you guys wouldn't know who this is. But anyway, it's just really sad. And I think it's throwing me off. So let's get back on track. I would like to say hello to all of my guests. Sorry for just bumming everyone out. Robin Shorr, hello, welcome back.
Thank you. And I just want to apologize. I just laughed nervously when you said that when you were discussing the woman in hospice. I laughed because I didn't know what to do with my emotions.
Oh.
Our hearts go out to her.
I didn't even
hope. Yeah, I laughed. I didn't mean to. It was a nervous laugh.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking, what kind of sociopath are you?
We're all thinking it.
I'm still laughing. I am a sociopath. I can't stop being one. But thank you for having me back. It's so nice to be here, even though everyone's dying.
Yeah. Well, not everyone, just people who like me. So for me, that's
technically everyone.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. That's thank you.
No.
I know you. I know you try to.
Everyone's dying, honey.
What'd you say?
I said technically everyone's dying, not technically everyone likes you.
Oh. You should have just let that ride because I was like, oh,
no, I'm all about honesty and clarity on this podcast.
I know. Anyway,
you don't want to take credit for a compliment that you weren't making because you're authentic.
Right.
And then once
Jimmy Von Dutch, the creator of the vodka hat.
But for real, Robin, I didn't even notice you were laughing. But
thank you.
You are also all about authenticity, hence you had to out yourself.
I did. I couldn't let a moment go without presenting my transparent self.
That's how I am, like to a fault, as the beginning of the show would indicate. Jordan Morris, hello, welcome back.
Hi, it's good to be here.
It's good to see you
back on the show,
Jordan,
which is called ARIYNBS.
Jordan, I don't know if you got the email. We're not paying you by the minutes anymore. So
yeah, that was a good deal.
Yeah, We're
so
the 900 number plan ceases. Right. Jordan.
Yeah, okay. Well, then let's scrap my segment I had coming up. Jordan Morris describes the Snyder Cut because I don't think I want to do that anymore now that I'm not getting paid for it.
I have a question for you, Jordan, but I'm going to finish the intros, just a little, a nod to professionalism, and then I'm coming back to you. Daniel Quantz, hello.
I like that as just a general motto for you and your show, like a nod to professionalism.
A hint of it.
A hint of professionalism.
You see professionalism across the room. You acknowledge it.
Right. Alison Rosen, good at recognizing professionalism.
Speaking of, and I know I said I was going to finish the intros, but now this reminded me of a little story. I did some...
You got to push me back anyways, so...
Yeah, you're right. This is way too early to introduce you. I had an interview at People magazine years ago. I had done some freelancing for them, and then I had an interview there, and I remember... I was self-conscious. I was wearing black pants and a red sweater, and I felt like I had a muffin top, and I was self-conscious about the muffin top, and I felt like...
Was it the cherry hat that you were wearing that made you feel like that?
Yes. It was my blueberry cape and the cherry hat. No, so I was sitting in
And your friend sitting next to you dressed like a cup of coffee.
Exactly. And I carried a newspaper. So... I feel like that would go with coffee and a muffin.
It would. It's a classic morning tableau.
Yes. Thank you. Although now it would just be a phone, but this was back then.
Sure.
Anyway, I was sitting in the chair and I think I felt like the pants maybe pinched the old muffin top. So instead of sitting up to indicate I am a person with good posture, I'm interested and eager, I slouched, but it wasn't just slouching. I didn't put my butt all the way back in the chair. I had my butt like 2/3 of the way to the front. I'm modeling this. I'm going to take the micro. And then I just kind of like lounged like this.
Oh.
for the entire interview. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen to see why I didn't get hired. And I think about this, I'd say once every 2 weeks it pops into my head, and I feel so embarrassed that I did the whole interview like as if I was stoned and watching Dazed and Confused or something.
Yeah. You look like in your posture, if I could describe it for the
Yes,
listeners,
please.
is like a teenager that's getting a talking to.
Yes.
Like you're in the middle of, your dad telling you the value of character or something.
Right.
And you're just like,
You have
oh,
the posture
God.
of you have the posture of someone who also had an interview at Us Magazine later that day. Like you gave
Right.
no Fs.
Right. And really, it would have been so much better if she was like, not that she's even going to think this, but this was back in the day when people still had these thoughts. If she was like, she could stand to lose a few pounds, but I like her attitude, versus like washboard abs, but she would be very bad as an employee, which I think is what my posture communicated. I don't know.
I think you were the sexiest sitter alive. I think.
Thank you.
You were too much for them. They couldn't take it.
That's right. Me with all my long limbs just draped over the chair.
Yeah,
I've
I've
heard
come
that.
at me.
And I've heard that as an interview strategy. Like you have to pretend like you don't want it, Like,
Yes, but I think I took that way too far. Oh, I'm remembering another interview. Oh, this was Teen People. I had an interview there as well. This was probably my first interview, like a real interview at his first staff job at a magazine. And I remember I was in my 20s, and I remember thinking, I'm cringing over this thought because it was so wrong. I was like, going in, I was telling myself, like, the job is mine to lose. So I just have to, like, not fuck it up, like, not say anything wrong. So I was look, Robin looks like she's going to barf listening to what I'm saying.
No, I'm gonna barf in anticipation. I'm so excited.
Well, I just was very quiet in the interview. Like, I didn't realize they call in. Just because you get an interview doesn't mean the job is yours to lose at all. Like, they call in a lot of people, and then you're supposed to impress them when you're there. But I was like, I had this idea that, like, if I open my mouth, I'm somehow going to put my foot in my mouth. So therefore, I'm just going to, like, be real cool. I had it really backwards. I played every job thing super duper cool till I learned that's not how you're supposed to do it. But, like, if I even liked a guy a tiny bit, I would not leave him alone. I had it real backwards.
Cool as fuck.
That's me. Anyway, Tony Thaxton, hello.
Hi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna
I don't get
barf.
that,
Now
yeah.
I'm gonna barf.
It feels weird to give myself applause, but I didn't feel weird giving myself an air horn, so I'm just going to own it.
Own it. Do it. And by the way, Robin, I hope I didn't make you self-conscious when I said you look like you're going to barf, because if someone said that to me, I might feel like, what are you saying? I'm just saying you looked very invested in in my embarrassing story.
Right, I was, but you also raise a great point, which is that when I'm very emotionally stressed, I will barf. It is a stress response for me. So
Really?
you're not off the mark, and your story was filling me with stress on
Like
your
a-
behalf.
Gross.
like
from
a cat,
20 years
who has to move.
Yes. Yes.
Is that what they do?
mean,
When you move a cat, there's going to be a period of barfing just out of stress, but
Right.
they're delicate creatures.
Yeah. And don't they make a big fuss when you take them to the vet?
Yeah, my cat certainly hates the vet. So yeah, and then there's a little bit of you might see some aggressive peeing after that. Certainly some barfing. So
I do that too. I really do.
Aggressive peeing.
I am a cat.
When you say move a cat, you mean just pick it up and move it around, or you mean like move it
move it
from
to like a new
apartment
apartment.
to
Yeah.
And when
But yeah, also sure, if you pick up a cat and start swinging it around.
And when you say aggressive peeing, is that like a revenge piss, or is that like a strong stream?
Yeah, my cat does not do this because she's an angel. It sounded like a weird brag. My cat does. She doesn't do it. But I heard from other cat owners that like if you're gone for a while, the cat will like pee on your suitcase or pee on the bedspread, and that's it's an aggressive act.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, my little angel would never. She would never. Ugh, she's been to cotillion and boarding school and everything. She
Cats
would,
are
but
not okay.
yeah, a more lowbrow, less refined cat might attempt something like that.
Right. Fuck you, cats. That was edited together to bolster someone's claim that I hate cats. I do not hate cats.
Deep fake. This is a deep fake.
That's right.
I would also, for any newer listeners, I'd like them to know I was not the one who edited those.
No.
I was merely given them.
Speaking of drops, Tony, and I'm putting you on the spot right now, and if your answer's no, you're dead to me, and it's going to be okay.
Get ready for that no.
Did you happen to pull Carly Wiesel saying robes?
Yeah, but then you never wanted it when we were recording it.
Well, robes. Okay. So, as Daniel, were you making a Stephen Sondheim R.I.P. reference with Tony's making a robe where there isn't one?
Aw.
It was.
Beautiful. Okay.
It was beautiful. It was one of the more beautiful Stephen Sondheim memorials. I'm just going to say it. It was.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something controversial on this topic, which is no one's talking about his sex dungeon. No one's talking about it.
Did he really?
Yeah, very well known. It's a well-known thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Was he?
I can't. You know what?
I don't kick
this
shame.
has been vetted by no one, but it's like as well known as anything else in the theater community, I think. But at 91, I say have as many dungeons as you want.
And he built it when he was 90. So
See, you never stopped.
What was he into?
Men, young men. Yeah, and the great thing about that is that young men would correspond with him and he would write back all very innocently, but he was a great corresponder, but all of my guy friends in college would get a lot of letters from. They would send him a letter like, what's your shoe size? And he would write back 9. He just was very good about writing to people, but in my mind it's narrowed down to just the young college guys.
And then did they follow it up with a gift of shoes, or this was just conversation?
Just conversation, because there was this rumor, at least in the 90s, that if you wrote Stephen Sondheim a letter, he would write you back.
And then,
and he did.
What was in his sex dungeon? Hats?
I don't know. And I should have really done some Googling before I just threw that out there.
No, I love it.
I know the man is a legend. I'm the biggest Stephen Sondheim fan there is. So just know that. I'm not trying to smear his name. But the man, I think, had a healthy sex life, which is fantastic.
I think if everyone's consenting to be in the sex dungeon, it can be a beautiful thing.
I am.
I've never heard any.
This is
Me
just
Too
a
type.
penis man. I'm Team Lloyd Webber, so I am not that familiar with Sondheim. Although watching the reaction of everyone makes me go, I'm a little late to it, but I gotta get into it.
Lloyd Webber had a sex shed.
I don't think you have to.
Bet he did.
I don't
A
think you have
shed
to
of
be
many
one
colors.
Right.
Exactly. I don't think you have to
And
be
some
one or
say
the
that
other.
underneath the shed lived a disfigured old organ player.
The Phantom of the Shed.
Yes.
The saddest character ever.
Phantom
And
of
you
the
know what
Shed.
the shed was filled with? Cats.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, guys. I'll go. I'll just leave.
Honey, have you listened or seen any Sondheim musicals, though?
you showed me our
you've
bud.
seen West Side Story.
Oh yeah, but you showed me our mutual hall pass, Mandy Patinkin singing, finishing the hat.
Love him, yes.
The hat.
I was in Into the Woods in high school.
You were? Who did you play?
Yes, I was.
What were you?
I was the narrator. A role that is usually double cast, but I think to get more
They didn't want
kids
too much of you.
involved, they kind of broke it up, and some of those double cast roles, went to separate kids.
Nice. Do you remember
yeah.
any of your lines?
Oh boy, it was a lot like, it's the narrator, so there's a lot of like exposition, and I think I got to do a British accent, which I loved. I was famous for my Britishisms in high school. Oh boy, did I have to? And I did. It wasn't a lot of singing. I was never have been a great singer, but high school theater, you can fake your way through it. But I think the one line that I had to sing was, "Oh boy, story over, all is mended." How was that?
So good. Was that the cast recording you just played, Tony?
No, it was
that a
me.
drop?
It was me.
Yeah.
I think that was,
I
I
don't
think that
even
was a
have
drop.
that ready.
So
Unbelievable.
anyway,
Yeah.
just to explain the robes thing, because I don't know if Robin and Jordan know this, Tony famously doesn't wear bathrobes unless he's in Japan, as one does. So this became a thing. While we were looking for a nickname for him, potentially No Robe Tony was going to be
Right.
one. Wendy Molyneux still wants to do that. So Carly Wiesel, theme park journalist and all-around lovely gal, was my guest last week, and I was listening to her podcast, and she said robes in a way that I just brought me so much delight, and I figured if it comes up. The thing is, Tony, I didn't know if you had pulled it or not, which is why I didn't bring it up, but this is why I brought it up now. Could we hear it again? I love it. Robes.
Almost sounds like Grobes.
Yes. Oh, you guys, Robin is a voiceover artiste. She has done Biore. No. Yes, no.
Yeah, beauty starts here. Yeah. That was me.
Was that the
Yeah.
original cast recording of Biore?
It really was. Yeah, I can do robes I can just do the live drop if you want. Anytime.
Robin, as
Give
a
us some
voiceover
options.
artist.
Give us some options.
Oh, yeah.
I will. 3 in a row.
Okay.
Yes, Daniel.
Oh, as a voiceover artist, do you know how to get the laugh in your voice, like when you're saying something? Like you're just that thing where it sounds like you're about to, because I can't do it.
The chuckle in your
Everyone's
voice.
coming to the Macy's sale today. Like something like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's so popular right now
Yes.
with the voiceover.
Because
It's all I do is mock. All I do, I could be making money, but instead I sit in front of my TV and just mimic everything I hear, which is what I've been doing since I was 4 years old. But it's like when you go in to work, and keep in mind I haven't done voiceover in so long, I miss it. Mark measures it, not Abrams artists. I miss voiceover work, but they always say, talk like you're talking to a friend, like you're just talking to a friend. So I'm just going to picture Alison Rosen next time I go in for my Macy's sale. Like it all kind of peters out at the end a little bit, or on certain podcast ad, it's like, do you want a murder burger? Like there's like that vibe of like, I'm doing a voiceover. I don't know.
wait, what's a murder burger?
I was listening to a podcast that was a murder podcast, and they were like, do you want a burger to go with your murder or something? And it was a Postmates ad, but it was like, this murder is full of burger. And it really annoyed me. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it word for word,
Well,
but I will.
I have some ads, and all of them are going to be amazing. But first, Jordan, here's what I
Yes.
want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You're a true pod professional who has also talked about how it annoys you when podcasts just spend so much time talking about what they're going to talk about. Is like, just get to it. So
Yes.
there's a meta element of this, I'm aware.
Uh-huh.
If you had had the kind of beginning that I had, would you have just jettisoned it and started like fresh and professionally?
No, I mean, I think you're a good podcaster. You're a good broadcaster.
Thank you.
And I think that you like that sort of thing is like part of the show. I feel like it is like it is like
Smart.
You're like, I'm a professional, but I'm just gonna let it roll, and you're gonna get to kind of like experience it. And I think that's why your audience feels close to you. So I think when I make a blanket statement like, "Hey, podcasts, can we trim some of the head off this thing and just get into the show?" I think that doesn't apply to every single show. So I think you're And I think, part of it is like, oh, you can have the little meltdown, but then come back and get to the show and introduce everyone, and we all have a great time. So yeah, I think that, in general, I think that maybe if you're a podcaster out there, maybe spend a little less time talking about the nuts and bolts. But, Alison, you got to be you. You got to do your show your way. Don't worry about what the haters say.
I don't want those haters in my head. As my therapist famously said, and also Taylor Swift said it, but when my therapist said it, I thought, don't you have anything better than that? She said, haters gonna hate.
Ooh, that's a good line.
Isn't it though?
That is what haters gonna do.
They're gonna.
That's all they can do.
Yeah, they're gonna hate 3 times, but then they're done. That's the thing that people don't realize. Haters gonna hate, and then they come around.
No one asks what's after the hate with haters.
That's right. They just stop there. It's like, go a little further with your thinking. You guys, pack your bags for the trip of a lifetime in the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, streaming only on Peacock. This new original exclusive is the Real Housewives crossover that fans have been asking for. Finally, you can see 7 iconic housewives from 4 different cities together in one place, including Cynthia Bailey and Kenya Moore from Atlanta, Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga from New Jersey, and Ramona Singer and Luann from New York City. With a crew like that, what could possibly go wrong? As any Real Housewives fan knows, the girls' trips are legendary. Watch these housewives enter into uncharted territory as they vacation poolside in their stunning Turks and Caicos villa. Side note, I've never been to Turks and Caicos, and I feel like I should go. This trip, this show takes me there. This trip will not disappoint. See this exclusive crossover event now and watch new episodes every Thursday. Plus, stream more of your reality favorites on Peacock, including all past seasons of The Real Housewives, hit movies and shows, exclusive originals, live sports, news, and more. Go to PeacockTV.com to sign up. I also want to tell you guys about Stance Apparel. They make socks. They make t-shirts. They make the best, softest, most wonderful. Oftentimes, there's like a crossover event with the apparel. I don't know if event is the right word, but they have collaborations with. They have Harry Potter socks and Harry Potter stuff. They have Batman, The Goonies, Star Wars, The Office, Barbie, Bob Marley. They have a little something for everyone. I was wearing their combed cotton no-show socks earlier. So comfortable. It makes a great gift, and all of it is super high quality and super comfortable. If you're not on the Stance train, get on it. Stance has the perfect gift for every punk and poet on your list. Go see for yourself. It's easy. Just head on over to stance.com and pick out some styles you think they might like. Enjoy the color and comfort of a life less ordinary with Stance. Okay. It's a lot to talk about because, as we mentioned, Daniel's going to cancel a couple pies. Everyone just had Thanksgiving. I want to hear how everyone's Thanksgivings were. But first, something that I was thinking about earlier. And this is a personal question. It involves your behavior in the shower. And also, just so I don't forget, we need to talk a little bit about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I need to know who all here is watching that show. But that'll come later. Okay, shower talk. Who here uses a washcloth in the shower? I do not.
Love a washcloth.
I do not.
I do not usually.
I use a sort of loofah hand thing sometimes.
Really? Because you were always a washcloth guy. When we were dating and we would travel, and I'd always be like, why is there a tiny wet towel here? And it's your shower washcloth.
You act surprised, but we use the same shower.
No, I know, but I don't.
Use.
I'm not surprised anymore. I'm saying when we first started dating, I was like, what's happening? And also, I never understood why there was a towel bar like inside the shower. It's for people who use a washcloth in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Good for, getting that exfoliating thing.
I didn't know you had switched. So, all right. So Jordan's a washcloth guy. Daniel's now he's exfoliating. Robin, Tony, and I do not use washcloths. So
I would say my washcloth use is case specific. You know, if you're at a beach, maybe you need a washcloth after washcloth. You need it.
Robin, can we get some options on washcloth?
Yes, please. Washcloth.
Phantom of the Shed action.
The giggly one, washcloth.
It's like you're talking to a friend about washcloth.
Jordan, do you want to give her a little bit of direction in the booth?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give you a line read, but just like
Please.
throw it away. Just like throw it away. Small.
Washcloth.
Okay, let's use the first one. Great.
Okay, thank you. Did 3 in a row. I think it's case specific. If you're at a hotel and there's washcloths aplenty and you're not gonna have to wash them,
Use them.
go nuts.
Yeah, I love that.
Look at your face. You really love that.
I do love it. It's not now. Listen, I know that this is not the most environmentally friendly practice, and I realize this is a moral failing of mine. But when there is a hotel room filled with sparkling, clean little washies, oof! I just like to use 2 or 3 per shower.
Wow.
One
Washies.
for each zone. Get a little washi in each zone. Hurl them across the room.
Oh my God. Jordan.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I get wild.
Washies.
So
Watch it. Turn a little diners, drive-ins, and dives on the TV, and just have a little hotel room night.
Whoa!
are you really tossing them across the room? Wet washies? Spent washies?
Yeah, I mean, not like, not with that reckless abandon, but, it can get a little wild.
If you've been with a gal for a few weeks, you can fling it like a frisbee at her face. That's a fun
thank you
thing
for
to
the
do.
assumption that there's a gal involved in this.
For the record,
very
I didn't
generous
assume.
of you. Thank you.
For me,
No, I'm
that
not
was,
doing this alone.
that's a solo washi expedition.
Yeah, it's self-care.
Self-care.
Washi.
So here's my question. So newly on TikTok, watching TikToks, and there's this woman that I watch who is teaching you like basic things that your mom was supposed to teach you that, if you didn't have a mom who taught you, it's like sort of fascinating to be like, oh, this is how you're supposed to live your life. But anyway, when you're in the shower washing your private bits, one hand for the front, one hand for the back, and then make sure that you stick with the one hand for each area. And I don't do that. First of all, I don't use a washcloth. And the washcloth thing has come up on the show. And my Black listeners have let me know that they think that is. And I'm making generalization, but I do feel like it is. I do feel like I don't think, I'm going to just go so far as to say every single Black listener of mine does use a washcloth, I think. But
Oh boy. Here we go.
we'll
Pumpkin
find
pie's
out.
not the only thing getting canceled.
I might have
We'll
to.
find-
I might
we'll
have to
find
get a
out.
raise at work.
We'll find out.
Oh boy.
Some people feel that it is highly disgusting if you don't use a washcloth in the shower, and it turns out that it's my Black listeners. And also some other, I feel uncomfortable. Anyway, but when I'm
Get an email with a lot of edit
I'm not-
notes later.
folks, I just want it for the record. I do not know her very well.
But when I'm washing in the shower, both hands in the front, both hands in the back, and I'm probably like spreading all sorts of, I need to like write, vagina on one hand, butthole on the other.
Like how they have his and hers towels.
So wait,
Yes.
you're using both hands at the same time?
Well,
How do you wash?
okay, so I lather up, and then one hand, my right hand goes down the front, lather, and then how do I go? And then that same hand goes around the back, lather, and then I take both hands. Now the hand that has just been in my butt, not in, but washing my butt, and then I rinse, and I kind of like hold my situation open to get the water all in there. Everyone, I'm sorry. Apologies to everyone
Oh
here.
boy.
And so then so that's a butt hand.
Right.
Touching
this is
the
more
front.
complex than your interview posture.
Yeah. And then I turn around and I spread. And then I rinse the back. But I just assume because everything's lathered up and there's soap here that like it's a pretty clean, germ-free situation. But maybe the hand that went in back should not become coming back to. I just want to go around and I'm just going to give everyone a number of how uncomfortable I think they are out of 100. Tony, you're at 90. Robin, you're at 80. Jordan, you went up to 100 and now you're back to like a cool 70. Daniel, you're at 100.
I'm about 200.
Okay. Does anyone else do that?
No.
I would have to remember. I don't have like a set manual routine.
Yeah, me
you know what I
neither.
mean? It just depends on the day and what's going on and the bod.
Well,
I think I'm trying to like envision, because you had such a clear, you could really conjure up the steps in that.
yeah. Well, I had to go there. I had to go on a journey in my head.
Yeah,
You know, because at first I couldn't remember, but I did take a shower earlier today. And so I just was kind of like, I'm in there. There's the soap, grabbing, and then it did come to me pretty quickly. I would like each of you to take a shower in your mind and tell me what's happening.
Okay. I think in my mind shower, it's beautiful. It's just like Andrew Lloyd Webber's sex shed. My mind shower. It's a beautiful place. Join me in my mind shower, won't you? I'm shampooing, I'm conditioning. I am with my washcloth that I bring into the shower, a clean washcloth. I don't often reuse them. I think sometimes if I just use them on my face, I'll give it another go. But usually it's a,
Special,
one shower,
clean,
one
yeah.
cloth situation. Put a little face wash on there, wash my face. Then
With
we
BRA.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And then we go to the traditional bar soap, lather that up do
With
the
the
bod.
washcloth. With the washi.
with the washcloth. Yeah, the same washcloth I wash my face with.
Got it.
Do the bod, and then time to take a trip downtown. We do the penis and balls. I don't have a euphemism.
Okay. That's
And
good.
then-
Nowadays, you're not supposed to teach kids euphemisms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
like you're not supposed to
Because
say like wee wee and
you're not supposed to say that because you want them to be able to, if something if something uncool happens
Right.
with their areas, you want them to be able to tell someone about it. You don't want someone to be like, or like if they're at school, you don't want them to be like, my something hurts. And the teacher's like, what are you talking about?
right. What's my show? My show she. It's like, what is this
Yeah.
kid's family use
Right.
for butt? Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we go around, we do a quick swipe of the butt, and then I think that move that you were saying, where you kind of, open up the crevasses to the water. It
Yeah.
depends on how much soap feels like is left in there. Like if I feel like I have a soap residue in any of the bits,
Right.
then I will, will
give
kind of
the
get
water
in there.
access.
Yeah, I will give the water access. Yes,
Grant
I
access
will
to the
allow
water.
the water to access my body.
Right.
Yeah, and then the shower's over. Sometimes I do a shave in there.
So see, what you just described is, first of all, you're using a washcloth. So that is different. And
Right.
also you have a penis and balls, which is different than me.
Mhm.
But you're doing the bunghole last, which
Yes.
is good.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think I not to bunghole shame. The entire human body is beautiful. I think, but yeah, I mean, it's the dirtiest part, right? So you want to, you want to do that last.
I mean, the
well, if
question.
you're using a washcloth, I mean, you probably he's doing it right. You want to work from the face towards the bow.
The question is, when I'm back there lathering up,
Yeah.
I'm assuming any germs are being instantly killed by the soap. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm actually transferring germs if I'm then rinsing the front with that same hand.
No, in general, I think that's a fine way to approach the shower. I don't think you need to get too meticulous about it. I mean, is there a rash of diseases going around because people wash their butt and then something else? Like, when
What
have you
if
ever
that's
heard
why
of that?
COVID is spreading?
Foot and butt disease.
Well, is the
Right.
theory with this TikTok, with Dr. TikTok, that you would be getting like a UTI or something?
I don't. It's the same as don't wipe. It's the same as wipe front to back. Yeah, it's just the idea that like bacteria from back there shouldn't be heading the other place. But I don't know exactly what you'd get.
And because it's TikTok, it has to be something like wiping front to back is a symptom of ADHD.
Yeah, oh, yes. Yes, you're shower divergent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you also watch TikTok and everything that is a symptom of ADHD is also something that you have?
I do not. No, I do not watch TikTok. I'll if a TikTok makes its way onto Twitter, the old person's social network,
Right.
I'll see it. But I had a friend who kind of like took me through TikTok, and it would appear that there is a lot of TikTok dedicated to unpacking ADHD.
Yes.
and its
Watching
symptoms.
TikTok is a sign of ADHD.
That's actually, I know you're joking, but it's kind of true. Robin,
Yes.
have you remembered yet how your showers go?
Yes. My showers are baths, and they're very
Oh, look
similar
at you.
to. No, they're very
Twist. What a twist.
opulent. My showering routine, my bathing routine is akin to the opening of Coming to America. I have somebody else go down there and take care of things. I'm too royal for such things.
Well, you should have two different people then, one for the front and one for the back, so that
That's
never
agreed.
they, never they meet.
That's great. And unlike the movie, I'm going to flip it. It's going to be two guys washing the royal
Yes.
vagina instead of a gal going down there and washing the royal penis.
And after
They did that
every
in Coming
bath,
to America too.
Oh, really?
and after every,
Okay.
They did, yeah.
Oh, they
And that-
switched it?
They did. There's
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And after
But
every
I
bath,
don't- I think my routine is really catch as catch can, you know?
I
It's
love
like
it.
It's
I love it.
It's not I don't have a sort of automatic thing. Sometimes I take showers just to wake up, and then I know I'll be taking a more in-depth one later after a workout or something. So God, I'm a real, like Joseph's Coat of Many Colors written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. I'm all over the spectrum
Yeah.
with
and
my
also
essence.
like TikTok. That's like the TikToks that Jordan's talking about.
Yeah.
Tony, you're regimented. You wear shoes every day. Do you ever swipe your butt and then it goes anywhere else?
No, I think my approach is somewhat similar to how Robin explained. But I think I will at least go to those downtown bits last.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get in, I wash my hair first, and sometimes I wash my body first. But that's about the most variety that happens for me.
Cool.
I do face. I think if I were to narrow it down, it's face, but hair, then body. But
Oh, faces
about
always
it
last
all-
for me. I like to
Yeah.
rub that butt juice all over my face, I guess.
That's how you
am I
stay looking so
describing?
young.
You know what it is?
That's too much information.
The reason I do, boy, I'm really that hand is going everywhere and then it's on my
yeah.
face. But the reason I do my face last is because I'm worried about conditioner or things that might make me break out being on my face. So I want to wash that off last. And I don't know. Daniel, what about you? Did you know you were married to such a gross person?
Mm-hmm. So let's see. My routine is I get in there. I usually use a bar of soap, so I don't always use the loofah hand scrubber.
Wait, are you rubbing the bar on your body?
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you do?
wow.
I lather up my hands and then use my hands. My filthy
No, I
hands.
use the bar. I use
Okay.
the bar.
Sometimes the bar, if you ever get one of those bars that's like textured,
Oh.
Oh, love that.
that's kind of nice. It has little
Textured.
bumpies.
The
Textured.
little oatmeal in it or
Textured.
something.
Textured.
Sorry, I don't want to steal a job from you, Robin, but I did kind of nail that. I did.
You
kinda
did.
You
nail that.
did. You did. That's the one. That's the one.
And then I think I'll wash the front bits, and then I'll wash the back bits. So I don't have to worry. You go to the dirty part last up your
So-
butt.
So this is here. I brought in a consultant and I figured out what I have to do. I need to wash the front, rinse the front, and then wash the back and rinse the back, which feels like sock, shoe. Like I like to wash and then rinse, but I think I need to make a tweak.
This
I figured
is the
it
time
out.
to do that. The holidays are the time to figure out
Yes,
where the tweaks
exactly.
need to be made.
Ooh,
Time
maybe
to
that's
reflect on the year that has been.
How can I do this differently?
Am I getting too much butt juice on myself?
maybe that is what my New Year's resolution should be.
I just
That
want to.
feels attainable.
Keep it
We're-
simple.
We were talking about euphemisms, cute euphemisms for children. I have trained, or I have with my two boys. When I give them baths, I always say, because I want them to remember.
Can I just interject real fast? No, you know what? You go ahead. You say this, and then you live with the fact that you just said this out loud.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Should I not say it?
No, I think you should.
I want them to remember to wash themselves and when they eventually are having to clean themselves. So I say, okay, time to cleanus your penis.
Oh,
That's really good.
That's great.
I thought there was like, don't be meanest, gotta wash your penis.
Right.
Nope. Time to cleanus your penis.
There was
They will
never
not forget that.
an alt rhyme.
Well, I might, put a little flair on it every now and then, but that's the core message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time to soap your rope, I guess you could say.
Soap your rope.
I just had a very visceral memory of my sister and I being in the bathtub together when we were little, and my mom's method. So this was in the days before cordless phones. If the phone would ring, and it often did, she would just tell me and my sister to sing. And
Oh, so she would know
that
if something
would
happened.
indicate that we were still alive. And
Oh my God.
I guess retroactively, I'm just mad that we didn't stop singing just to hear what would have happened. But that's like the most 70s.
That's like a horror
parent.
movie scene.
It's
That's
a
like
horror
a
movie.
Yeah, like it's a long take where you follow the mom down the
Right.
hall. And you hear the
Right.
singing, and then it stops, and you have to follow anyway.
Or what if you're doing that Goo Goo Doll song? The Goo Goo Doll song where it's like they sing, and then there's a big pause. And I don't want, and so it's like, what if we were singing Goo Goo Dolls and there was a pause? She would have thought we were dead.
Yeah.
They just dropped dead, sure.
Good thing you
Yep.
weren't singing that song.
We weren't. I wish I could remember what we sang, but it was just kind of me and my sister looking at each other being like, how much longer is this? Do we have to sing for?
Yeah. I mean, that was the time where if the phone rang, you had to answer it.
Yes.
The
It was
times were
something
different.
important.
You know what your mom needed if she wanted to monitor things from far away? She needed a Ring alarm. That's right. The queen of segues has entered the chat. You guys have heard me talk about Ring before. You're probably familiar with Ring. We were familiar with Ring because before we have a Ring alarm, we love a Ring alarm. We've had it since a couple years now. So before they even came on as a sponsor on the show, we had a Ring doorbell before that. I didn't realize they had an alarm until I talked to my friend who straightens my hair. He's actually more the guy who just straightens my hair than is he really my friend. But I just wanted to switch it up because I've mentioned him before. But he's the consummate consumer, researches everything. It's so great because I can just ask him a question and he knows the answer because he's done his due diligence. And then I don't have to. I just ask a question. Anyway, he turned me on to the Ring alarm. We bought it. Daniel set it up in minutes. You do not have to be super handy or tech savvy, or it's a very Daniel user friendly, right?
Very.
Yeah. And then we went on vacation shortly after that and had such peace of mind knowing that we could monitor what was going on, that our home was protected from far away. And we have been super into it. There's a word I was going for that escaped me. I don't know what the word is, but we've been turning people on to it ever since. It is great. And you don't have to have other Ring devices, but if you do, it works seamlessly with them. This holiday season, deck the halls, walls, doors, and windows with the best deals of the year on the award-winning Ring alarm. Go to ring.com/best friend to get a great deal on a Ring alarm security kit today. That's ring.com/best friend. I also want to tell you guys about Bev. Bev is the perfect gift for a host, gift for a friend, gift for yourself. Bev are canned wines that are delicious and they're fun. They come in fun packaging. It is a woman-owned, woman-run business, female-founded, and they are. I wish I had them in. Have you guys? Daniel, I know you're a huge Bev fan. I don't know if everyone here is familiar with Bev. I wish I had the box in here to show you because they are so. It's like this cute little. They're colorful. The packaging is great, and they are delicious. They're have yummy. 6. What'd you say?
I said they're yummy.
Daniel's all about. It's hard
to make it like I said something weird. They're yummy.
I'm agreeing. Yeah, I know.
Robin, can we get a read from you on how yummy these are?
They're yummy.
They're
yummy.
Daniel, pretend like you're talking to a friend.
They're yummy. They're yummy.
It's rare.
Yummy.
It is rare that I don't see Wait, oh my God, there's too many negatives in this sentence. Daniel often has a can with him. They have 6 varietals: Rosé, Sauv Blanc, Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir, and their recently launched sparkling Rosé, which is called Glam and Glitz. I think my favorite is the Sauv Blanc. Daniel, what's your favorite?
I kind of like the Pinot, the red wine one. It's like you wouldn't think that a Pinot Noir would be good with a little fizzy in it, but it's good.
Yeah, they have a little bit of fizz. The wines
but the Sauv Blanc is good too.
The wines are dry, crisp, and a little fizzy, super refreshing and delicious, and they're all 0 sugar and only 3 carbs and 100 calories per serving. The cans may look cute and tiny, but each can is a glass and a half of wine, Daniel. Perfect for when you don't want to open a bottle of wine just for yourself. A 24-pack is equal to 8 bottles of wine. Get 2-day shipping straight to your door, and shipping is always free. We've worked out a special deal for our listeners. Receive 20% off your first purchase plus free shipping on all orders. I suggest trying their best-selling Ladies Night Variety Pack so you can check out all of their delicious varietals. Go to drinkbev.com/bestfriend or use code bestfriend at checkout to claim this deal. That's drinkbev, drinkbev.com/bestfriend. Bev can also be found at retailers nationwide, including Target, Total Wine, Bevmo, and more. And I also want to tell you guys about BetterHelp. If you've listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I'm all about therapy. I think that it's helped me personally so much, and it's helped so many people I know. In fact, so many people I know are open to therapy and are doing therapy that I forget that there are places around the country, around the world still, where there is a stigma about therapy. And I say, don't let that hold you back. Some people think you should wait until things are unbearable to go to therapy. That isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, and it can help you avoid those lows. We've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, but that's wrong too. We take care of our bodies with the gym, the doctor, and nutrition. We should be focusing on our minds just as much. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. And Alison Rosen listeners, that's you guys, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/bestfriend. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/bestfriend. Okay, and we're back. Jordan,
yes.
Do you have a fresh haircut? It's looking very tight and styly.
Thank you for noticing. Yes, it is a pretty fresh haircut. Tight and styly is what I said to the haircut person. My hair was getting pretty wild. And it was just this thing I just remembered. I'm like, oh yeah, I can like go in and get a haircut now. I think I was just kind of used to like a world without haircuts.
Right.
But it was nice. It was nice to just kind of like... head on into the Supercuts and say, give me the
tight and styly.
Give me the tight and styly.
And also, Jordan, have you been traveling? I feel like you have been, maybe.
I have been to a couple of like weddings. So I think what I'm experiencing this year is the like, we can kind of sort of safely have a wedding glut. So I think that a lot of weddings that got postponed and canceled are all kind of like happening, and I love a wedding. It's just a kind of a great excuse to like see people again and to kind of like experience, some good vibes. So, so I've gone to a couple weddings. I went to one on Cape Cod. I'd never been to Cape Cod before. Beautiful.
No, me neither.
And I went to one in New York City, and we got a family one in College Station, Texas. Later this year. So
nice.
Yeah, the old wedding suit's getting a workout.
I haven't been to a wedding in a really long time. We went to an online one, a Zoom wedding last year. No, this year. It was surprisingly emotional and sweet and cool.
Oh, was it Jackie's?
Yes, it was Jackie's.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
Did we talk about it on the show?
We did. It's a little bit. Yes, Jackie Johnson's story of her Zoom wedding that had all kinds of horrors associated with it. Yes, because it's quite a tale. Because they were in Texas, they were in Austin when it was frozen, so they couldn't go to their venue, and they ended up doing it in their hotel room. And it was sweet and emotional, and I would have thought that a Zoom wedding would feel, it'd be hard to feel all the wedding emotions, but I was wrong. It was great.
I went to a few Zoom funerals.
How are those?
A bummer. Because you're just I love the person. If I'm going to a Zoom funeral, that means it's just, funerals are a bummer. And then there's this added layer of you're not with people. You're not in that comfort of community. And you're just watching, if it's a Jewish funeral, you're watching your friends dig up some dirt and throw it on a grave. And it just feels, the whole thing is weird. But I would argue it's better than not going at all. Mm-hmm. So that was nice.
How do they have a videographer at a funeral, or is there someone just sitting there trying to angle the laptop toward the dirt?
It's basically I actually was at two. I was at one funeral in person this year and then one on Zoom. And there's always just some guy from the funeral home that has to film it for the Zoomers. It's not a dedicated position yet, although I think we're headed there. I think Hollywood Forever, if I had to guess, that cemetery, that famous cemetery where all the celebrities are buried, they've had a videographer forever. But I think
somebody from
else...
Industrial Light and Magic adding in CGI creatures.
I'm surprised they still have any room for new bodies.
Oh, they'll just put bodies on top of bodies. They don't care. Yeah. But
they exhume the less famous people.
Yeah, and get out of here. No one
let's
knows
get rid of all the below the line folks
anymore.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get rid of Rudolph Valentino, a famous Twitch streamer, just died.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine getting
more relevant?
It's if an agent goes to a bigger agency and then they can't take you with them. Can you imagine getting that call that I'm sorry, your relative did not make the cut, and we're going to need you to.
I could see
them.
Hollywood having a very prestigious cemetery that even after you're dead, you're on a waiting list, and then it's something, and they zoom you and move you over when you finally.
They're we'll be moving them to the North Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which is still very lovely.
Right.
Very. The air is better.
The air is
near
better.
Where they park the bulldozers.
Yeah, it's behind an auto parts store.
There's a lot of porn stars at that cemetery buried, but they're in good company.
Yeah.
It's really an up and coming cemetery.
It's a hot new cemetery. A Pilates place just opened up.
They show movies on the weekends. It's not as premiere as Hollywood Forever. The curation isn't as good. They're showing just one of the guys in Grease too, but it's still good.
And the middle 3 Transformers movies, so people aren't lining up.
I loved Just One of the Guys. Has everyone here seen Just One of the Guys?
Oh yeah,
it's so
that was an HBO staple in the early mid '80s. I feel like. Yeah.
Daniel, do you know it?
Rough.
No.
So was she a high school reporter?
Yeah, but
I think she wasn't she out 40. Of high school,
maybe,
but then is posing as a high schooler.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to write a story. I can't remember why she pretended to be a boy, and she was going to write a story about something involving the football team. And so she went undercover as a boy and went out for the football team, right?
Right.
And became really good friends with one of the guys on the team.
Yeah.
But developed feelings for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there was I'm actually forgetting a lot of it. Someone who remembers it better.
I
Fill in
don't
the
remember
blanks.
it very well at all because I just remember I would catch it on television whenever it was on. I would always watch it. I can't totally track the story, but I do remember that the woman, I think this was her only role. I know her first name is Joyce. I don't remember her last name, but I remember she was gorgeous and she had really nice breasts. I'll just say it. And I think she shows them in the movie
And
too.
That's an important. It was a seminal piece of
It was
TV
seminal.
nudity for me as a child.
Yeah,
very.
It's
That
that you're just oh my God, that guy has the most beautiful boobs.
the cover, the video cover.
That's
is
exactly what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, the cover is that kind of classy, classic horny 80s movie style of cover.
I'm surprised I don't know this one.
It's a locker room, and she's in the men's locker room, but she's got two football helmets over
these perfect boobs.
Yeah.
Robin, the way you said boobs was similar to the way Carly said robes. So could you play robes? Could we do robes, boobs, robes, boobs?
Robes. Boobs. Wait, no.
Robes.
Boobs.
It's going to be the new peanut butter jelly time.
Boobs.
One more time.
Boobs.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I do remember this
really love
movie. I
that.
didn't see it, but I remember the video box.
And then the brother, I think his name is Scott Jacoby.
Oh, right. It was Scott Jacoby.
Billy
He was
Jacoby.
Billy Jacoby. That's right. There's this Instagram that I follow. It's called, I think his name is Jeffrey Mixed. And he posted a bunch about just one of the guys the other day. And I got it on the brain and I went down a Billy Jacoby hole. That guy.
He also acted under a different name though, right?
Yes. All of this is true. If I
And
could
he was on
multitask
Golden
it.
Girls.
Yes, he was on the scene in the 80s for
Yeah.
sure, and then just totally disappeared. And then
But
I
I
think I looked him up, and he has a digital marketing company now.
Oh, really? Tony, will you find out what his other name was?
His name is actually William Jane, but he's sometimes
right.
credited as Billy Jacoby.
Oh, right. And sometimes
Right.
he's William Jane or Billy Jane.
Billy Jane.
Yeah, Billy, which is his actual name. I saw him in person once because I went to a screening of just one of the guys at a place that has basically now been canceled. But
What?
Was it
Yeah.
the North Hollywood Forever Cemetery? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to even remember. I think other cast members were there as well, but
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
remember. I just remember him showing because he was late. It was they were already halfway through the Q&A, and then he showed up, and everybody freaked out when he showed up.
A classic Alison Rosen.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like that's something I would accidentally do. Show up late.
Show up
too.
late.
Yeah, in the
Screening.
middle.
Yeah.
that movie also has another classic 80s bully performance from William
Billy's.
Zabka.
Yeah.
Oh,
Billy Zabka.
yeah.
Oh.
I
Who I
forgot.
should say I went to the same high school as he did, El Camino Real in Woodland Hills, California.
Hey.
Whoa.
Didn't
We are
Tiffany,
no longer the conquistadors. We are the royals now. Sorry.
and you
Allison.
referred to your royal vagina earlier.
I did.
Did Tiffany Haddish go to your school too?
She did. She went 4 years after I did. And I worked with her on a show called The Carmichael Show for a full year. And we did not know we went to the same high school. And she was the mascot. She was the actual conquistador.
Wow.
Get out.
Which was a big deal. And I actually am curious how she feels about us being changed over the royals.
Right. What was Billy Zabka like?
I don't know. He's a little older than me. I wish we'd gone to the same school, but I had a weird 80s crush on him because he was also the bad guy in Lucas, the movie Lucas. But just the fact that in going to that high school, knowing that he had gone there was actually kind of a big deal. It really was.
Yeah. Jordan, did anyone famous go to your high school? Because Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray went to mine.
Oh my gosh. Not that I know of. Let me think.
Do you know that this is actually a thing that you can look up your high school on Wikipedia, and it will say
really notable alumni?
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
Maybe I'll do it. Is that interesting? Should I do that right now?
Whether it's interesting or not has never been important to me. Just kidding. That's just what other people, that's what the haters who are going to hate would say. Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you. Okay. Capistrano Valley High School
Oh.
is a public high school on the southern border of Mission Viejo, California that is run by the Capistrano Unified School District. Should I just read the whole Wikipedia?
Let's hear it. Let's get into it. Let's find out more about. Okay.
Ooh, there's one for controversy. Okay, notable alumni. Don August, former Major League Baseball player for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brandon Brennan, another Major League Baseball player. Heather Cox, an American sportscaster. Oh my gosh, Adam Plost, guitar player for ska band Save Ferris. That's something out of me and Allison's childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I had no idea. A running back, Los Angeles Raiders quarterback, another Major League pitcher. Michael Ramirez, Pulitzer Prize winning editorial cartoonist who illustrated the 1979 class yearbook. I went to high school. Okay, so this guy, I did go to high school. So Randy Torres, guitarist for the band Project 86, who was a Christian metal band.
Yes.
Well,
So
there
we were
you go.
we were in a school play together, me and Randy Torres. It's cool that he made the
There's
Wikipedia.
never a bad time to rock and roll, man.
Jordan, you should be on their notable alumni.
Yes.
Yeah, if Randy Torres made it,
You know,
but no, they were big in the Christian metal scene, so
I wrote about Save Ferris or interviewed them more than once, and I don't remember Adam, the guitar player. Do you?
I don't. I do know that Save Ferris had a lot of like lineup changes.
They
so
were
I
a
think
large
that
band.
he might have been. Yeah, I mean it's a
Right.
ska band, so there's 14 people in there already.
Right.
So he might have been a different lineup or.
I remember
Anyway.
Bill Wecky with the bear hat.
Oh yeah, there was a guy with a bear hat. Yeah,
And Brian, who was the guitar. Brian was the guitarist that I knew of. The tall, lanky, like one of the main guy. Anyway, enough of this. This is not the Safe Ferris is Your New Best Friend podcast. I would like to say hello and thank you to my. Where did I write that? Oh, here we go. To my new patrons.
Alison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen.
Hello and welcome back, Justin Roberts, and hello, TV guidance counselor. That's our friend Ken Reed, unless someone else has the name TV guidance counselor. He signed up for an annual subscription. Reminder, if you sign up for an annual subscription, 12 months for the price of 10. Okay. All right. Robin, what have you been up to lately? When we last talked to you, I believe, or maybe it was the time before, you went to a wedding and it was like picnic casual.
Picnic chic, I think it said.
Gosh,
Picnic
those apparel modifiers at weddings are getting out of control.
It really spun my boyfriend into it spun a web. We just got back from the Caribbean on Saturday night.
Whoa.
It was a big trip. I'm a little jet lagged, but I napped today. It's a whole new world out there, and I think that I'm never going to travel again because of this. There's always new things happening. There's new variants going on. I feel like we got back into LA just in time, but we went away for my boyfriend's father's 75th birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was great.
So it was like was it a whole big group of you?
It was. There were 10 of us. Just the 10 of us. Another sitcom from 1990. It was the 10 of us, and then there were other families sort of nearby that my boyfriend's brother knew.
Wow.
So there was just for a week, you're just like, oh my God, we're all best friends. And then you never talk to them again. Never.
Where in the Caribbean did you go?
It's this island off the coast of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the island is called Mustique, and it is a British colony, and you really feel it. You drive on the other side of the road. And this is a place where my boyfriend, Sam, his brother, has gone for the last 12 Thanksgivings. And so we truly were piggybacking, freeloading. We were there for the fun. we got to go along, and it was really a beautiful place. But a lot of mosquito bites. I've been itching this entire time, hopefully off camera.
I haven't
but
seen
I'm
it.
covered because mystique, I guess, really means mosquito. And the whole back, I'm tattooed with mosquito bites on my back. But it was a really, really nice trip. No notes.
I have had it with these bugs.
Who said that?
Boobs.
I think that was Joe Quazella.
How long have you been with your boyfriend?
2 years. We just celebrated 2 years, but we've known each other for 25. We went to college together, and we're good friends in college.
Hey.
That's so sweet.
know.
Those are always fun stories, like friends to dating.
It really was one of those things that when it happened and when it started to happen, I was like, what is he doing in my bed? And then I was like, oh, it all makes sense. Like I would wake up and be like, what is Sam doing in my bed? But it really kind of always made sense. And I should put it on Instagram. I have a series, like 10 pictures of us when we were not dating and we look like a couple, and he was fully married. Like I was with other people. So it is a nice sort of end to the story. It's nice to be sort of settling down at this stage finally.
Were you guys friends throughout the whole time, or were there?
Yeah, we were friends. We kissed once in 1999 in New York City, which was fun. At a
Great year
cast
for
show.
kissing. Great year for kissing.
Great year for kissing by an elevator. And we both were living in New York, and then we always were in touch. Anytime I went back to New York, I always had dinner with Sam, and it always felt like a date, but we were both always seeing other people. And then he moved out here. He got married. He moved out here, ironically moved 1 block away from me. And then I was very, very busy, and I was running a show in all of 2019, and I was really busy. And he texted me one night.
What show was that?
And said, it was a Disney Plus show called Diary of a Future President.
Nice.
And season 2 is on right now. But he's texted me like, hey, do you want to grab dinner? And I was like, yeah, sure. Is your wife coming? Should I make a reservation for 3? And I was so busy. And he was like, no, it'll just be us. And then sort of like halfway, and I picked him up because he lives down the street. And then like halfway through the dinner, he was like, or at the beginning of the dinner, he's like, hi, it's so nice to see you. I'm getting a divorce. And then I was like, oh. And then like about 10 minutes later, I was like, this is a date. This is totally a date. And I didn't realize it was a date. And then the next day I went to work. We were shooting the next day. And I just was like wide-eyed all through shooting, being like, I think I just went on a date with Sam Foreman. I don't know what's happening. Like I couldn't focus on anything that day, because it was all starting. My whole life was starting to make sense.
This is so sweet. Did you?
Oh shit! Really? That's so nice.
Looking back, do you feel like you had a crush on him before you guys?
I think we always sort of had like, I'm gonna say talent crushes on each other. And obviously, kiss didn't come.
What does that mean? What are talent crushes?
Like when you see somebody, let's just say like you're dating someone and you see somebody in a play, and like in college we were doing so much theater, and we would, he was a playwright from the time he was like 5 years old. So I'd see his plays and be like, oh my God, Sam's the best writer.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Like you have a crush on their talent.
And then he would see like my comedy shows, but I don't know that always translates into a physical thing. And then you sort of grow and mature, and you play the long game hard enough, and you just might win a trip to Mystique.
Well, because what I was going to ask is whether you discovered anything that you didn't know on this big trip to the Caribbean with him, but it sounds like you know him pretty well.
I do. The one thing I discovered that I didn't know was that he does not own flip-flops, which on a beach trip is essential. So God bless Sam. He was
just wearing like hard loafers.
Yeah, and I like that was like truly the only thing in the entire week that I was like, oh my God, because we would like have to walk to another beach and it would be rocky and you need your flip-flops, and he didn't have them. So Hanukkah's coming. Hanukkah's here. I'm going to get him some flip-flops. Or not.
When we last talked, I was saying that I think maybe I'll do Hanukkah this week. We're big into Christmas. I'm a big Christmas file. But I was thinking maybe I'll do Hanukkah this year. And I remember I was asking, when is it? Because I was asking you and Dave Damashek, like, give me just a little starter course on being Jewish, since I know so much less than people would expect me to know given my name and everything. But you guys were saying it's the first Sunday after Thanksgiving, and I just did not get my shit together in time. So there's no Hanukkah happening in our house. Although
okay.
Elliot really wanted chocolate coins, and we got like the last bag of chocolate coins at Target. So there has been some of that, but there's been no actual like Hanukkah-ing.
But that's the thing with Hanukkah, like, you know, you could just like start on night 4, right?
I feel like
there's
sure.
8.
Right.
You got 8 shots. Yeah. And I went to a Hanukkah party last night, and they didn't say the prayer correctly, and I didn't know anybody at this party, and I was a little jet lagged. And I just was like, I just had to, I didn't want to be the person correcting the Hebrew prayers. No one likes that person at a party.
What goes on at a Hanukkah party?
Well, I'll tell you. What goes on is that you get the address for where the party is, and you stand outside that door for 30 minutes going, this seems like the address that's in the text, but nobody's answering the door. And you almost leave to go home to watch Succession. And then the host comes out from another door and says, oh, these people that I'm staying with, they bought the house next door. We just figured everybody would hear the party over here.
Oh,
and
no.
And so we were.
And then you have a
was
jelly
so
donut,
close to
right?
being exactly. I was so close to being in my sweatpants. It involves latkes. It involves a menorah. It involves probably some roasted chicken and some kugel. Does everybody know what kugel is?
I do. I do.
It's a noodle pudding, which is a play on your bread pudding opener. So it's a noodle pudding. And it's delicious. And I should learn how to make it.
I only discovered it very late. Like, despite the fact that I know nothing about being Jewish, we always grew up with, like, my dad was always super into deli food and has very, very strong opinions about how a corned beef sandwich should be eaten and what you put on it and stuff like that. And so I always grew up around all of that. But noodle kugel, I never had until I was like probably when I moved to New York, and I saw it being sold somewhere. That just wasn't part of the repertoire growing up.
That's okay.
Snapchat.
Thank you. Sometimes blintzes, though.
Delicious. Another version of the noodle kugel. It's just in a different shape, basically.
Like a lemony cookie might be part of it too. Kind of a cookie with like a lemon zest. No?
I like what you're thinking, but I don't know where it fits in.
Okay. Maybe I'm confusing it.
No,
with...
but I like that. Let's add it. Let's add the lemon.
Yeah.
I love lemon. I love lemon.
And there's Hamantaschen.
That's
right?
Purim. That's the 3-cornered hat. If you go on Patreon, you can see what a 3-cornered hat looks like.
You're doing the Illuminati symbol. This is
true.
Going to cause a lot of Alison Rosen conspiracy theories.
That's true.
Fine.
Purim is like Jewish Halloween. It's a slightly different holiday. It's in the springtime. It's in the springtime.
And that's when they have those cookies that are shaped like a 3-corner hat.
Yes.
Jordan, maybe that's what you're thinking of. I don't know if there's a lemon flavored one.
I am right about the jelly donuts, though, right? That's a big part of it.
Totally. And you know what's weird is I don't like jelly donuts. I don't ever eat them.
Oh, yeah?
Donuts. Donuts and latkes are traditional on Hanukkah. Do you know why?
No.
Tell me.
I would love to learn.
Because they're both cooked in oil. And oil is what you're celebrating.
Yes, so that's right. The eternal flame.
Mm-hmm.
So, why is it always a jelly donut? Is that so? Like, it's not like you wouldn't have a bear claw on Hanukkah.
I don't know. I don't know why it's jelly, but I know donut.
I didn't even know that. Wait, where did you get this info, Daniel?
Well, honey, because I bought a book for Elliot to teach him all about Hanukkah.
Can I read it?
Yes. And by the way, like, I feel like Jewish holidays need a sprucing up.
I couldn't agree more. New branding.
Just new stories. Because, like, I think I lost him when you started talking about the dynasty overthrowing the fucking this and burning down the temple of the whatever. And it's like names I don't even know.
Yeah, it's interesting that like Christmas has the Christmas story, Jesus, barn, Herod, you know the one. Wise men, yes, all that. But then you just have this totally separate Santa mythology that is not even connected. So it's like you can just create
Christmas,
a more fantastical Hanukkah story.
That's true. Yeah, well, that's because Christmas is like the Christians kind of co-opted another holiday. So there's all this stuff that isn't Christian is based on the Yule celebration, right? Hanukkah needs to do that. You need to like. It's like when Fox bought, whatever company they bought.
Good story.
It's like when Disney bought Marvel or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like Hanukkah needs to buy
Valentine's Day.
Halloween.
Oh shit, that would be a coup.
Oh my god!
And so then there would just be like
to rebrand.
There would just be like a Hanukkah Dracula.
Yeah.
I agree, though. It needs to be spruced up, made more exciting, made more digestible. I went to Hebrew school until I was literally like in 11th grade, and I don't really remember the story of Hanukkah. I know the oil burned for 8 days and 8 nights. I know that, but I should know more.
But yes, you know that the oil burned for 8 days and 8 nights, but it's like, why is that important? And then it starts to get into this arcane, like very, very old stuff, and it's just where you lose people. I mean, I have a lot of notes for the Jews. That's the first one.
That's a good
Listen,
one.
you guys, we are running out of time, and yet there's I thought we were going to do Just Me or Everyone. We're not going to have time. I still would encourage everyone to send in your Just Me or Everyone's, though. Tweet them to @ARIYNBF. Use the hashtag JMOE for Just Me or Everyone. Also, we're going to do iTunes Comments of the Week again soon, so please, if you enjoy what you're hearing, leave us a nice comment on Apple Podcasts. Helps out the show. Click 5 stars, etc. Okay, here's what we need to do before we go. Daniel, we need to hear about how you're canceling those pies. And then we need to briefly, and Daniel and I have not watched last night's episode, but we need to briefly just have a little conversation about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes,
for those who are watching it. Okay. Daniel, hit it with your pie talk.
I'll try to make this fast. First of all, I don't have to cancel pumpkin pie because pumpkin pie is already canceled. That is baby food. But I
disagree.
It does have a baby food like.
Yeah, but I was like holding on to pecan pie. That was the thing. It was
That was your
always like,
pie.
yes, that was my pie. So, dessert rolls around this Thanksgiving. I get myself a very nice quarter of the pie-ish slice
huge.
of pecan pie. Halfway through, I had a reckoning. And it was just like, this is a little too sweet, a little cloying, if you will. I like the nuts, but it was just, I don't know. And I was in a daze after that. Like, what do I do now? I'm in a,
You're a man without a pie.
Yeah, like this is I'm a man without a pie. I don't know what to do. Is it just ice cream from here out? And whipped cream and ice cream? And then we were driving home and I was like, it's time to forge our new traditions, and our new Thanksgiving tradition I've decided is bread pudding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bread
great.
pudding is wonderful.
Delicious.
I feel like that's better than both of the other options. Like bread,
Oh yeah,
a good
I would
custardy
always
bread, right?
Yeah, I would take bread pudding every time.
Yeah.
Ah.
So there we go.
And I think we are. I mean, we're talking about new traditions and kind of taking a look at what we believe, what we celebrate. And I do think that we do sometimes stick to those holiday foods just because they're tradition. Like I do, and this is kind of a cold take, but like it's okay to swap out turkey on Thanksgiving, right? Like, I mean,
totally.
It requires so much preparation. It's such a side dish based meal anyways. So,
and the turkey at best is like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Best.
I don't care about turkey. Like I don't not like turkey, but I could go the rest of my life and never eat it and not think twice about it.
But yeah,
Same.
we're all doing turkey because we should, and I think you maybe had a similar revelation. Re pies.
I think everyone's just on autopilot by the time the pies roll around.
Right.
There's a nostalgia that goes along with it, and I want to kind of like goose this a little bit and get people to think about it and just say, hey, enough.
Yeah,
you don't have to live like this.
swap out your pies. Make Freddy Krueger part of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do
Freddy
it.
Krueger pies.
I didn't have room for pie at our Thanksgiving. I just couldn't conceive of it. It was too much. It was a point at which your brain tells you it's over. You're shutting down for the night. And I'm sad I didn't get any.
What was the thing that pushed you over the edge, would you say? Where was it some kind of yam action, green beans?
Yeah, it was yams, but also there was this dish, and I don't know if the family who hosted us wanted this, but it was pearled onions. And I thought it was macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
So I took so much, and then it was just like pearled onions in like white sauce. Yeah,
Like
and I felt the
creamed
way
onions,
Daniel
maybe.
looks. Yeah, it was creamed onions. And after that, I was like, I'm shutting it down. It's over. It's over.
But you
Thanksgiving
missed
2021.
You missed the pie you didn't have.
I do. I literally missed it. I will be making up for it somehow. I don't know how, but I will.
The last 3 Thanksgivings or so, with the exception of the most recent ones, so the ones before it, I remember each Thanksgiving thinking like, I'm not uncomfortably full. Like, I just treated this like a regular meal. I didn't have too much. Like, get out. But then this year that flew out the window, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember now what it feels like to be just so painfully full.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling.
It's not great. And it's not like the last, it's the 20 minutes of eating that precede that. It's not even about enjoyment. It's just about sensation or something. I don't know. Well,
How did you feel about the pumpkin or the pecan pie, Alison?
Oh, well, I ate so Daniel, like he said, quarter of the pie, like a solid 15 minutes of pie right there, on a clock. And he didn't finish it, but then I finished his. I didn't get, and then I went back and got a little sliver for myself. So I enjoyed it, but I like things that are sweeter than Daniel does. So I was like, this pecan pie is really
her
good.
coffee in the morning, you would never want anything sweet ever again. It's insanely sweet.
But it's artificial sweetener, all artificial sweetener. So it's like
she uses this droplet sweetener where if I put 1 drop in there, it's sweeter than if I put maybe 2 packs of sugar
It's
in
like
my
a tincture.
coffee.
Whoa.
1 drop, and she's just like drop.
no, I just use 4.
It's honestly
It's probably the equivalent of like 10
drops.
Yeah, they're it's just like liquid sucralose. I think it's called Sweet Ease. I forget what it's called, but it's on Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen if you want to find it under food and drink. All right. Real fast. Who here is watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
This guy.
I am. And
So-
I, like you, have not seen last night's episode.
Okay.
That's my evening activity tonight.
Is
Robin.
it not like the best reality show ever right now?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so good.
Daniel, what were you going to say?
Well, I'm. What is your theory about Jen? Do you think one of the women was involved in coughing her up to the feds? And if you do,
The feds are involved in a Real
oh my
Housewives?
God, Jordan,
Yes.
you have no idea.
She
The
is
literal
show.
Homeland Security.
Homeland
Wow.
Security
arrested
the
for
NYPD.
money laundering and wire fraud. It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. I thought people
Yeah,
were just throwing champagne and little dogs at each other.
No.
Nope.
Let me just lay out for you what's going on in
Yeah.
this crew.
Okay.
You've got a cult leader who married her grandfather.
Okay.
You
Step
have
It's
you
important
have
to say.
a leader of a multi-level marketing thing.
Mhm.
You have a woman who was just arrested by the Homeland Security, the FBI, and so on. You have, what am I missing? We're like, oh,
You
you
have
have
a
another
woman-
one whose husband wants to get a sister wife.
Yes. And you have Meredith Marks, whose marriage was on the rocks the first season, but everything is fine now. She does everything for her family. She says family. She's like, don't come after my family.
Every time I watch a show in like a reality show in this kind of genre, I am always amazed at how many different ways people can pronounce vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
It's
Vulnerable.
Like, you hear vulnerable, yeah, and it's something that reality show people are always saying. They
True.
just cannot stop talking about being vulnerable and everyone has a weird little way to pronounce it.
Yes.
Well, in this one, they all have that northern Utah accent. So
So
it's
Lisa
like-
Barlow tequila. She's Mormon, but she has a tequila company.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pronounce their
that's-
E's as I.
That's who you want making your
Right.
tequilas, the Mormons.
And
Well, she
yeah.
converted to Mormonism. It makes no
she's
sense.
also Jewish.
Wow.
They were also one thing, and I'm going to borrow something that I heard on the wonderful podcast Bitch Sesh, which covers Real Housewives. Their guest Danielle and Casey had Ray Sani on, and she said something that blew my mind, which is that now Real Housewives has morphed into a true crime series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's true. And I in the last episode that I saw of Salt Lake City, a couple of things were very clear to me. Number one is that Jen Shaw is just doubling down, which is amazing. She's doubling down. So,
Yes.
so Jordan and Tony, just so you know, like she gets a call. She's on the bus they're
going to Vail.
They're going to Vail, and this woman who's running this crazy scheme, stealing money from old people, allegedly, gets a call.
Her partner
and she
just
tells-
turned on her.
Yeah. He just pled guilty.
She's doing
But she gets a call, and instead of saying like, "Oh my God, the feds are coming to arrest me," she turns to all of her castmates and in the calmest way, and she is not a calm lady. She says like, "My husband has internal bleeding and I have to leave," and then proceeds to take like imagine going to a party, you know, when saying goodbye takes an hour and a half. Like that's what she does. She takes forever to get out of here. And then the ladies are on the bus going like, "Oh my God, I hope her husband isn't dying of internal bleeding." And as they're saying this, the feds are literally swarming on the bus. It's so cinematic. It's
Wow.
crazy. And she goes on the run. They do eventually catch her, but I do want to mention one other really important thing. You know, the guy, his name is Cameron, who warned Meredith Marks about Mary's quote unquote alleged cult. That person, Cameron, we'll call him the whistleblower of this church. He is dead.
I know.
Yeah.
He's dead. He died.
Yeah. We found that out when I was like, what is he alluding to?
And the
then
thing,
it's
it came out
tough.
last episode or 2 episodes ago that she had convinced him to take a mortgage on his house and give her $300,000.
Yes.
Just give it to her.
Which explains, you know, she has a lot of designer clothing. She's a very fancy woman, but it's dark. Something is going on there that is untoward.
I'm convinced that Meredith is the one that turned in Jen because Meredith seems
motive.
to know about her schemes, and Jen accidentally showed her vagina to Meredith's son. She was like acting out and like went, "What?" Showed her vagina to her son, and her son was like, "Oh, I saw her vagina. Well, I'm traumatized." And Jen was so offended that he was traumatized by seeing her vagina that she started talking shit online about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Meredith, I think what happened is she was really offended by it. I think
Because he came after her family.
I think
Her family,
Meredith
sexuality.
turned her into Meredith turned Jen into the FBI.
I'm just taking a
So-
bath while my friends are being arrested.
Oh my God, that was like a 3-hour bath. Okay,
So
you guys.
just you're all making this up, right? Like this is not happening on one
Doesn't
TV
it,
show.
Isn't it crazy?
It sounds like one of those stories that you make up in an improv group of like the one word
Yes.
story.
Right, yeah.
That sounded insane.
And then Bill went to farm. Yeah.
Right.
It's the
exactly.
craziest season.
It's wild.
Wow.
It is.
Listen.
It's really compelling. It's really compelling.
You guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you for being on the show. I have enjoyed every minute of it. Robin, tell everyone where they can find you. Plug anything you'd like to plug.
Just find me on Instagram at Robin Shorr, ROBINSHORR.
Wonderful.
And that's about it.
Thank you. Jordan, what about you?
Yes, I'll use this plug time to back up real quick to Daniel's rhyme, "Cleanest the penis." I've been thinking about this. If you have a child with the other set of genitals, you could say "Shina your vagina."
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's kind of been a monkey on my back for.
Good use of your time.
Yeah, thank you. And also, I would like to encourage people if they have, if say, have someone on their holiday shopping list who likes graphic novels, comedy, or science fiction, any combination of those three things, my graphic novel that I co-wrote called Bubble is available wherever you get your books. It's a sci-fi comedy with a satirical edge, and it's got. I co-wrote it with Sarah Morgan. The art's by the great Tony Cliff. It's got monsters, aliens, sex jokes, gore, all that good stuff. And if you're listening to this on or before December 3rd, and you want a personalized signed copy for the holidays, I am doing that through Book Soup. So if you go to booksoup.com and click on signed, you can get a personalized copy. I'll write any fucking dumb inside joke you want in the book. I will write, get your bumper dinged at the squat and gobble.
Cleanest the penis.
I will write,
Yes,
I will write cleanest the penis in your book if you want. But yeah, that ends on December 3rd. So if you want that, that's available. But if not, it's available wherever you get your books.
Aren't you also nominated for an award?
Oh, yeah. I think that voting will be over as of this recording. But we were nominated for a Goodreads award for Best Graphic Novel. And maybe we made it to the next round, but we probably didn't because of the giant names in the category. But you never know.
Still,
There's
honored
maybe
just to be nominated.
Yes, I say that with all sincerity. An honor to be nominated alongside such titans of the form.
Daniel, what about you?
Yes. Go to the Daniel's Christmas Spectacular list on our
Gift guide.
Amazon page.
Yeah, Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen for Daniel's Christmas Spectacular gift guide.
Every week, I'm updating it with new things that are recommended by me, loved by me. I think I'm going to put Bubble on there because
Wow.
I have it and it was so good and I highly recommend it. But there are other things as well. In case you're looking for, I've been told I'm tough to shop for. Well, no longer.
It's true. Tony, what about you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
in my podcast Bizarre Albums every Tuesday. Motion City Soundtrack Tour coming up in just about a month, so get those tickets if you haven't gotten those yet. And not a plug, but just a real quick question. It literally could just be a yes or no answer. Robin,
Yeah.
I just noticed, is that a Grease 2 poster behind you?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. It's a Grease
Hell
2.
yeah.
And then
It's
look.
not a judgment,
mannequin.
just a question.
Wow.
Oh,
Speaking
my
of movies that are playing at North Hollywood forever.
The other way. Oh, and then the way back, it's Super Dave. Dave Osborne. If
Hell
you know
yeah.
who he is,
Cool.
if you
Hell
don't
yeah.
look him up on YouTube,
great.
that's what I'm going to plug.
The best.
Yes. It is. It's an original, by the way. It's an original print of Grease 2.
wow.
Pretty good.
Grease 2. Love it.
You guys, thank you so much for coming on. Listeners, thank you for listening. You matter. I love you. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show?